Hello and welcome to JLV West Round 2 in Monaco as our drivers start doing qualifying. We can take a look at the token spends. As you can see over here, we've got Priya spending 1 token for Yorkshire Aerial, Tifoli and Odd Cooper both spending 2 tokens for Rickware Racing, Edwardito spending 1 token, and Gamer15 spending 3 tokens for Iniciación Roja. Joe spending 3 tokens for The Monkey Racing, Small spending none, and Vaporeon spending 3 tokens. We're watching his quali laps right now. He's spending 3 tokens for Compass, Arcaniac also spending none, Botti spends 2 tokens for Costa, Cloud with 0, Eli with 1 token, Kraft with 2 tokens for Electric Racing. For Russell British Racing, we've got Kader with a 3 token spend, Mr. Sir 06 with no tokens, Iceberg spending no tokens, but Kuku's spending 1 for Celerio Deer Juniors. And finally, both drivers of Burger Ekolowski Racing spending tokens, Boken spending 3, and Yosho spending 1. Yosho's account did get hacked. That is interesting, but he did send in his token plan beforehand. So this will be the first hacked driver in the virtual leagues. As we get the final qualifying here, looks like Odd Koopa might be up for pole. Yes, he does. Vaporeon only qualifies 5th. He won in Portimao in the Portuguese Grand Prix opener. Alright, let's get the tokens out of here. Let's take a look at those qualifying results. Odd Koopa, it's a 1-2 start for Rickware Racing, who, if you did not know already, do have 5 speed. So it looks like that speed might benefit them a lot on this track. Gamer15 will start in 3rd, then Kader in 4th for RBR. Joe starts 5th, Vaporeon 6th actually. He's tied with Jovo, so they might switch positions around. Botti starts in 7th. That's a good qualifying for the Acosta team. Edwardito starts in 8th, Kukus in 9th, and Yosho rounds off the starting 5 rows. Arcaniac will start 11th. Sorry, Arcaniac, the winner of the Portuguese Grand Prix, and Vaporeon is the one spending this time. Got them mixed around. Arcaniac, the previous race's winner, starts 11th. Boken starts 12th with 3 tokens behind Yosho. Ooh, that's interesting. Small starts 13th, Priya starts 14th, Belgian Senna starts 15th, Kraft in 16th, Eli in 17th, Cloud in 18th, Iceberg in 19th, and Mr. 06 will be starting last. Alright, let's see here. Turn on the rain. Right. Rain is on, away we go. Here we go. Odd Koopa starts off Tifoli, dropping back a bit. He started on hards. Gamer pulls up alongside him. Odd Koopa is running away. Kader tries to get ahead there. Gamer battling for that second position. Tifoli still holding on. Joe now in front of Kader. Joe goes past Gamer. Joe is now next to Tifoli, but Kader goes down the inside and into Raskas. Joe Ooh, goes a bit deep on the exit, but he's still in second. No, Kader gets in front of him. Odd Koopa is over a second in the lead already on the second lap of the race. Kader in second, Joe in third. Gamer leads this little train of cars. We've got Edvartitos there, who's got a good start to the race. Tifoli's dropped to 6th. He's battling both of the INRs now. Behind him is Vaporeon. Tifoli gets past Edvartitos, but doesn't manage to get past Gamer. Joe's dropped back to Kader now. Looks like the podium isn't too close to each other just yet. Odd Koopa navigating that hairpin. Very, very tough. One of the toughest turns in a motorsport track. But yeah, Odd Koopa with the lead. Kader now trying to catch up to him. Joe in third. Gamers pulled away from Edvartitos. Surprisingly, that token spend does give him the advantage despite being on a harder compound of tires. He might even catch... Oh, and Kader's overtaken Odd Koopa for the lead of the race. Very interesting. RBR don't have a car that would immediately stand out as a race-winning cars. 2 speed, 1 acceleration, 1 grip, and 3 turbo. And yet here is Kader in the lead and with the fastest lap of the race so far, as Odd Koopa might be struggling due to his lack of grip as the softs start to wear off. Rickware does have 5 speed in their car, which is an insane amount, but they still only have 1 acceleration, 1 grip, and 1 turbo. Interesting, because RBR also only have 1 grip, so the fact that it's affected Odd Koopa so much right now is very interesting. Maybe it's the car, they have to adjust themselves to the high speed of the car. But Kader now still in front. Odd Koopa's recovering some time, but there is Gamer catching up behind him, who's overtaken Joe now. I think we'll see the soft drivers pitting soon. Odd Koopa now still in second, just holding on. Joe gets back in front of Gamer. Kader just driving in the lead, but he's not that far away. He's not pulling away. Into the hairpin, Vaporeon's joined the pack in 5th. Boken, 34, is in 6th. Edvartitos down to 7.5. 6 seconds even. Odd Koopa pits now, so does Joe, but not Kader. Kader stays out, extends his stint on the softs. Will it help him or will it hurt him? We'll see. Vaporeon now makes his way into the lead on hards, which are more durable. Gamer also looking to get past Kader. Behind him, Odd Koopa is just 4.88 seconds away. He's battling with Joe. Gamer gets past Kader, and now Kader shuffles into the pits. Vaporeon currently leading. Kader's fight with Gamer really let Vaporeon get a little bit of a lead ahead of Gamer, but Gamer's closing that gap extremely quickly. Oh, and it's back. It's just under a second. Joe leading Odd Koopa. Joe's opted for mediums, Odd Koopa onto hards. Fighting for a podium right now, but they're looking to catch up to Vaporeon and Gamer. Kader battling with Boken for 5th right now. It doesn't look like his overcut has benefited him much. He is 4 seconds behind the pack right now. Vaporeon, Gamer, and Boken still yet to pit, of course. Edvartitos has pitted as well. Tifoli hasn't. He's dropped down to 7th, which is disappointing considering his start in 2nd. And the final points positions are right now Koikos and Kraft. Kraft with a solid, and Koikos as well, with both with solid race starts. If I remember correctly, they both qualified quite low. Mr. Suro 6 is the one in last now again. Doesn't look like he does the best when he doesn't spend any tokens. Might be due to the car, because that's the only thing you can rely on when you don't spend tokens is the car and luck. Iceberg second last. Odd Koopa now in the lead of the race as Vaporeon has just pitted. Gamer pitted earlier, and now Odd Koopa is in the lead, but there's Joe behind him on a faster set of tires on the mediums. Kader is in third, so his overcut has not cost him too much, but he isn't fighting for the lead right now, which is arguably still not good. Gamer in fourth, Vaporeon in fifth. He's decided to go for softs after a hard stint. Boken still on a hards in 12th lap. He's taken them 12 laps. He will pit now. Edward Tito's now gets in front of him. Tifoli also pitting. That allows Botti to get ahead of him and Boken into 7th. Yoshio now also in the points. Both of the Burger Ekolowski Racing drivers in the points right now. Ekolowski will be very pleased if they can keep this to the end of the race. It looks like our top 3, top 5 even, remains the same for now. Tifoli down to 10th now. Not so great from him so far. Let's see if he can claw his way back up, earn some more points for Rickware Racing. They've got that 5 speed. Surely he can catch up to Yoshio, to Botti in objectively worse cars. Kader now looks to be catching up to Joe, looks for an overtake on the inside, pulls it off, but can he get away from Joe's slips? Yes, Joe, I think with a little mistake there, going into the hairpin, loses Kader's slipstream. This can allow Kader to get ahead. We can see Vaporeon there has passed Gamer, is looking to catch up to these two fighting for second place. Odd Koopa is solidly in first right now. Looks to have a slow exit out of that turn. But Kader solidly out of second now as he overtakes a lapped car. That's Belgian Senna in 16th. Joe in third. Vaporeon is really closing the gap. But look right behind them, Gamer as well, not letting up. Joe now looks to overtake Belgian Senna. Vaporeon goes through. So blue flag driver in between them. Vaporeon makes his way past them and goes down the inside on Joe and Raskas and takes third. What a move from Vaporeon. Joe's on worn out mediums now. Gamer on fresher mediums also overtakes Joe, but going into the hairpin, can he keep the position? Yes, it looks like he just can. Vaporeon up into third. He's planning to make the most use out of his softs while they can still last, but they are getting worn out now. The Compass do have 2 grip, which is more than most of the field. Very important to know, INR have 3 grip, so in terms of grip, they definitely have one of the most advantageous positions on the grid. Yorkshire Ariel is the only other car with 3 grip. Kader catching up to Odd Koopa now. He decides to pit. Odd Koopa decides to extend his hards, which is a very interesting decision. Usually, you'd think not to extend hards because they are the slowest tires. So when they're slow and worn out, that's the slowest you can go in dry conditions. But on the other hand, hards do tend to wear down slower the more they get worn down, which is very interesting. Now Odd Koopa looking to pit this lap. He does so. That will allow Kader to overtake him. Kader on the hards, Odd Koopa's pitted for the mediums. Even Joe manages to overtake Odd Koopa and Vaporeon. Joe now back in front of Vaporeon. Looks to be a bit of lag there. Some technical difficulties with the camera. Kader is in front right now. Joe's very close behind Vaporeon, Odd Koopa. They're all battling. Odd Koopa's just overtaken Vaporeon. But now Vaporeon out on the outside overtakes Odd Koopa back quite a bit. Successful overtake. He's now behind Joe, but with the blue flag drivers in the way, they slow Vaporeon down. Uses some of that extra turbo saved up to catch up to Joe. Still has turbo left over. Goes down the inside on Raskas. Hits the wall there. Can't get away from Joe just yet, but he is accelerating away. Got the superior speed. Odd Koopa now back in front of Joe as well. They look to be catching up to Kader, who is on a harder compound of tires. Gamer down in 5th. Boken down in 6th right now. Yoshu in 7th. 10 seconds behind his teammate. But yeah, both Burger Ecolosky Racing drivers still in the top 10, which is incredible. I would not have predicted something like that. As well as Kraft in 9th. Botti also holding up to Foley. Down in 11th. At this point, he has a car with 5 speed, and he might just lose out on points in this race. That is astonishing to think of. Edward Tito's in 8th, still holding on to points for INR. It looks like INR and Rickware, as well as Compass, will be your main competitors for the Constructors' Championship this season. Compass with Arcaniac, the winner of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Vaporeon now looking to be the winner of this one if he can get past Kader. But unlike Rickware, who are almost getting double points today. Oh, to Foley all the way up to 7th now. A pack of 5 cars. He was behind them all. He's in front of them all now. Gets his way from no points to 6 points. So yeah, Boken looks to be all alone, sitting in 6th with Joe on the back of the lead pack, behind even Gamer now. Kader still holding on to 1st. Vaporeon's right behind him on the fresher compound of tires, but hasn't successfully overtaken him yet. He's going down the inside here, uses a little bit of turbo to get ahead, but hits the wall on the outside, gets squeezed a little bit. Kader's still holding on. Kader's still in 1st. Odd Koopa is behind him in 3rd, looking to take advantage of this battling situation between them. There's also Eli as a blue flag driver. Might cause a little bit of chaos here. Vaporeon's just dropping far away from Kader now. Arcaniac pets. He's in last. What has happened to Arcaniac? Kader now still holding on to 1st as Odd Koopa joins the fray. Odd Koopa and Vaporeon might want to not battle as much as they can, because that will only lead to them losing more time to Kader, and it looks like they've done just that. But Vaporeon, with a bad exit there, loses a lot of time, almost a second in front. Kader is now, hits the wall. Vaporeon and Odd Koopa still behind him. Gamer is also not far away. Odd Koopa on the outside of Vaporeon gets ahead, but look at the time that has cost him. Gamer now in front of Vaporeon as well. Gamer is in 2nd now. looks to be the one that can actually catch Kader. Will he do it? We've got 3 laps left to go. It looks like picking the hards was a better strategic move for Gamer and Kader than Odd Koopa, Vaporeon, and Joe on the mediums. Joe down in 5th, 6 seconds behind now. Gamer still behind Kader. Kader's pulling away as we get into the penultimate lap. Here's Mr. 06, Kader's teammate. He's been lapped, but Gamer gets past him. There's Kraft, another blue flag driver. Eli and Yoshio also holding up Odd Koopa. Vaporeon even further behind. There's only Kraft holding up, and Gamer gets past him. He's side by side with Kader. Goes a bit wide. Kader is on the inside of Raskas, holds up Gamer. Gamer's right behind him, going into the final lap of the race. Gamer on the outside of the first turn in Monaco. Still in front of Kader. We're heading into the hairpin now. Gamer gets a bit knocked into the wall. Now we're on the tough side. Kader uses that squeeze to his advantage. Gets in front of Gamer going into the tunnel. Gamer down the inside. Slams Kader. A bit of aggressive driving from both drivers, but what can you expect from such a tight track like Monaco? And it looks like Gamer will win the Monaco Grand Prix for Iniciación Roja. Kader in second. What a fight for the win. Odd Koopa finishes only third after leading most of that race, except him and Kader. Vaporeon finishes fourth. Joe really losing out on those mediums in the end. Almost caught up to by Tifoli. He finishes fifth. Tifoli gets ahead of Boken in sixth, recovers after a bad race start. Boken finishes seventh to bring some points. Yoshio finishes eighth. Boken with the fastest lap. Yoshio finishes 8th to bring Barker Ikolowski double points in Monaco. Edward Titos in 9th to do the same for Iniciación Roja, and Rickware also getting double points, and Botti gets the final points position for Acosta. 1 point for him. Kraft misses out on the points, 9 seconds behind in the end. Guess his tires were not up to scratch. Kukus 12th. Smalls 13th, Priya 14th, Belgian Senna 15th, Cloud 16th, Eli 17th, Arcaniac 18th, Mr. 06 finishes 19th, so he doesn't finish last this time. That honor, or dishonor, goes to Iceberg. Gamer 15 is your winner for the Monaco Grand Prix. What a race. Kader and Odd Koopa were looking to be the most, in my opinion, most possible race winners there. Vaporeon also finishes outside the podium in the end. Gamer and Kader's tactic of going onto the hards at the very end, I don't know why some drivers decided to go onto mediums or softs. Very risky play considering they might not last, and they didn't last for the rest of the race. And Gamer, with a smart tactic, with that grip really benefiting INR, gets a race win for them in the second race of the season. Join us next time as we travel to Monaco's neighbour France, Le Castellet, otherwise known as Circuit de Paul Ricard, is where these drivers will be racing next. We'll see you then. That's all for today. See ya.